Jasmine, and over the past several days, I've decided to come on and share insight, revelation, or reflection out of my overnight sleep time. So I also made sure to put this in the Birthing Balance playlist because the conversation from what I share is restorative and encouraging so that we can continue in our journey. At this point, I'm going through a multi month phase of decluttering, discarding, organizing. And for me, one thing that has helped is the phrase or mentality that little progress brings big change. And I've, even up until this past week, been learning about multiple uh, not steps, tools and ways of thinking so that you can execute or implement tangible strategies to relieve mental clutter and stress over these tangible tasks. I like how all of that sounded just now. And so one might be the 2 minute rule. If it can be done in 2 minutes or less, just hop to it. And my best friend shared a method, which I'm trying to reframe for my psyche and how I operate, but basically that there are levels of cleaning, the things that you do all the time that shouldn't even be considered cleaning at this point, dishes, garbage, just, putting away those couple of things at the end of the night. And then there's like the sweep and mop, things that don't need to be done every day, but definitely regularly, often. And then there's like the deep cleaning where like you're, I don't know, I'm not sure of everybody's lifestyle. So for me, I would say the thing that you maybe do once a month or so, vacuuming, or like, I don't know, I'm not going to get too deep into the details, but the point is that like there's different prioritization and energy that needs to go into different types of tasks. So anyway, for me, it's helped in the moments when I did or didn't plan to, and then I can feel some relief begin. And I'm talking about this overall. My life is my business, and I share because if I need this help, if it's things I'm learning and changing and doing to help my life, then I hope it helps yours, truly. And I am pretty sure I'll post like the connection between this topic and my other social media. It'll be TikTok, where there may be smaller day-to-day videos on the topic compared to this long form discussion type of style I'm doing right now. But last night, or rather this morning, coming out of sleep, the concept connects to that in saying this part by part. And I want to just jump to a later thought that I had while I was doing like my little good morning bathroom with God is that once you identify, you can rectify. And I'm really working on who I am and how I've operated over the last decade plus, and who I can be to find who I need to be. Because and I know that there are other people like this, and I coined the phrase recovering perfectionist because I could get overly organized in the trying to organize what has to get organized instead of just doing it. So a lot of the thinking sometimes can go into being too detailed in the setup for the thing that needs to get done rather than the doing of it. So I have to write the plan sometimes, or categorize and get my chaos out of the brain and onto a paper. That way, if I could see it, it's more controllable and I would say positioned, instead of it just floating and spinning around in our thoughts. So part by part means, and this is a little bit simple, but maybe not. If I'm trying to declutter and reorganize and create a comfort for me in the, I don't know if I'm using this word correctly, but I'll go ahead and say sanctum of my mother's home, the place I grew up, her environment. That's just my current lifestyle. But apply this to what you need to, your office, your home. And if I'm overwhelmed and feel like I don't know where to start, I'm just stopped, because I feel like I'm about to make somebody spin out just by watching and listening to what was about to happen. But the point is, right, and that's the importance of putting it on paper sometimes, is that as all of this got established, so it needs to be deconstructed. I will say that, because on the route to restoration, on the route to restoration, and this is where our scripture comes in, the main one that I put first in the description, Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 10. It may not sound like it applies, but follow us here. And this is the New International Version. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 10 says, "See, today I appoint you over nations and kingdoms, to uproot and tear down, to destroy and overthrow, to build and plant." Now, while that doesn't necessarily put it in a certain order, I would tag that connected to Ecclesiastes chapter 3, where there's a time for everything. I think I mentioned Ecclesiastes 3 yesterday too. Come on, God, get us with the themes. And so what I come out of my sleep this morning comforting myself with, or God comforting me rather, is the plan, the decision to part by part the deconstruction as the establishment of the things around me also happened part by part. It wasn't all of this all of a sudden. And one thing that I have decided to behold for myself over the last year to build myself into who I see God has called me to be is the phrase, Rome wasn't built in a day. And so as all things happen in its time, and some things take time, right? So as the clutter took time to build up, the decluttering takes time to destroy. So en route to restoration for me today, this week, at this point, October, fall, third trimester of the year, all of these beautiful time stamps that we can say are a pivot point for progress. Oh, I like that. I want to encourage you. Definitely check out the description for more scriptures. I didn't write in there Ecclesiastes 3, so just in case I forget, I'm saying it. Ecclesiastes 3 is a good read. The whole book, really. And I'm excited to let this video end with the sharing of the title of my new book. I've been talking here and there in sprinkles over my social media, but the countdown is here, 14 days away. I'm going to virtually launch my second Fixing Your Tiara book title, The Healing Story of a Wounded Wife. Man, I'm excited to see even now how God is going to present it and give us a powerful experience to begin a new route to restoration for those who can relate, who have been through similar situations, strongly committed, if not actually married, and so much healing work that comes inside. You are an individual before, during, and in God's will after your relationship. So the target of my book is you, to have yourself. And there are so many more discussions that we're going to have to unpack what my book is about and how it's relevant for you or certain individuals you know. And I'm just gearing up to believe in all that God is going to do through the sharing of my story. Again, that's The Healing Story of a Wounded Wife, my second Fixing a Tiara book, and I'm debuting on October 20th, 2 Sundays away. Thank you for supporting, subscribing, and sharing. And actually, I need you. thank you for your support in hitting that subscribe button. Share, ask your friends to subscribe just because. If you're sitting next to somebody right now watching, just have that subscribe button pressed because you can unsubscribe in the future. I need 50, just 50, just 50, just 50 to go live on a device. Right now, I'm sitting on my laptop at home. I'm immobile when it comes to presentation here on YouTube in public. So if I want this virtual book launch to be a success, it's going to be limited to Instagram Live unless I could get these 50 subscribers, and then I can add YouTube directly to the live event. But in the meantime, I thank you for supporting, sharing, and joining. It'll be Instagram Restoration Catalyst, and the same is on Twitter. Well, I'm not on X anymore, but I meant to say TikTok. So thank you for finding Restoration Catalyst on social media, and the event will take place for sure via Instagram Live. And I'm still determining the exact time for the occasion, but thank you for watching and listening thus far, and keep fit. Have a good one.